The energy is high inside of Gordon Hunsberger Arena on the campus of Grand Rapids Community College as we get set for the start of the second game of this doubleheader between the Grand Rapids Community College and the Glen Oaks Community College Vikings. Jackson Hayden with you. Pleasure to be the voice behind GRCC Raiders basketball all season long. Well, today it's the Vikings and the Raiders. The Vikings looking for their first win in conference play this season. They enter on a 3-game losing streak, have not won a game since conference play has started. So there are 3 losses in a row come against a Marion Anchilla, or excuse me, a Kellogg Community College, a Marion Anchilla College, and a Lake Michigan College team. All very close games for the Vikings. So today they'll have another tough test on their hands as they face the team that is tied for first in the Western Conference today with a 12-4 record. The GRCC Raiders coming in as one of the hotter teams in this conference as they are on a 3-game winning streak and have not lost, or excuse me, a 4-game winning streak and have not lost since the new year when they took on Muskegon Community College on the road. But today, it'll be their matchup against the Glen Oaks Vikings, a team they have not beaten in 2 years on a 2-game losing streak. So Joe Fox trying to get his boys on track, looking for their first win since 2022. And the Raiders beat them here on their home floor. Let's take a look at the starting lineups here today for both Glen Oaks and GRCC in the black uniforms this evening is the Glen Oaks Vikings. Darius Stiles, Aiken Smith, Amari Moore, Kelvion Brown, and Jaden Stamps. In the white uniforms today with the navy blue piping for the Raiders is Tyron Thomas, EJ Bauman, Nate Keel, Matt Richards, and Zeke Jackson. This high-powered GRCC offense and high-powered defense looking to keep this momentum train rolling. On the tip-off side for the Vikings will be Amari Moore, and on the flip side for the Raiders, it is Matt Richards, who is back and better than ever in his second game starting. And quickly now, and Thomas opens up with a bang as he slams it down with 2 hands. Raiders with an early lead, and now the Vikings looking for an early return call here. At the free throw line is Moore. Moore fighting his way around the hook shot. No good. Pulled in by Richards. Now slowing it down a little bit. Bauman, a lethal 3-point shooter on this team. This team can do it all. They can shoot from behind the arc. They can play in the paint. They can do it all. Ball loose, and it's turned over. So the Vikings looking to even it up here or potentially take the lead out with a 3-pointer. Darius Stiles kicks it out near side. Wide open 3 for Stamps, and it's no good. Now Jackson quickly in transition. Bauman pulls up a 3, and it rattles off. So a minute played. It was an early dunk by Tyron Thomas. That gave the Raiders the first lead of the game, the first bucket between both sides. Now the Vikings looking for their first basket here in this game against the Raiders. Aiken Smith out there on the floor right now for Glen Oaks. Pull up, Stiles needs to get a shot off and hits off the back iron. And it looked like the offensive rebound was grabbed by Stamps, and then a whistle came in. Nate Keel will pull in his first foul of the evening. Keel had a day a couple of nights ago against Marion Anchilla. Nice play in the paint. The putback shot is good. Aiken Smith ties it up at 2 apiece. Keel off the bench had 30 points. One of 2 players with 20-plus points off the bench in that game. Jackson couldn't finish at the rack, so this game will remain deadlocked. Darius Stiles down the floor, top of the arc. Stiles looking for some moves. 2 minutes off the clock here in the first half between the Vikings and the Raiders. Going around the world are the Vikings, spinning his way in the paint. Moore, it's stolen away by Tyron Thomas. Thomas in the paint, driving, stopping, pivoting, floater, no good. Here comes Keel for the three-pointer, is good. Zeke Jackson with the team's first three of the afternoon. We're off and running. Good crowd on hand here at the Gordon Hunsberger Arena. And the floater connects as well for Darius Stiles. Stiles, one of the better shooters on this team. You typically see him jack a lot of threes, not a ton of points in the paint. Here's Keel, dishes it out, Jackson. Thomas steps into a three, buries it. Tyron Thomas with his first triple of the afternoon. 40% three-point shooter this season. Leads this team on the floor in a number of categories, getting away from a steal. The put-up is good by Jaden Stamps. And the Vikings are within 2 as we approach the 4-minute mark here. And half number 1. Jackson, top of the key. Driving, kicks it out near side. Here's Bauman trying to go across floor to Thomas. He saves it. Nearly going into the bench of the Vikings. Thomas trying to go into the paint. And Jaden Stamps getting a little handsy defensively. So tightly contested here. So we're just south of 4 minutes played to start this game. The GRCC women's team took care of Glen Oaks women's team with a 40-point win over the Vikings. Jackson, near side three, and it rattles in and out. Rare miss for Jackson. Jackson leading the team in three-point shooting, nearly 50% from behind the arc this season. Brown with the ball at the logo. They've let a lot of time off the clock, 10 to shoot. Brown pulls up and bricks it off the corner. Jackson down the floor, taking in the paint, feeds Keel. Keel can't control it. Now quickly in transition, Brown with a 2-on-1, flips it to Moore. Moore the floater, and it's no good. Ball still loose. Moore puts it up, no foul again. Nearly 2 blocks there for, looks like Lucas Pitch. And we are going to get our first media timeout of the game. It has been some fireworks here in the opening minutes of this game. And the Raiders own a 2-point lead here as we enter our first media timeout. We'll be right back. You're watching the GRCC Sports Network. Welcome back here on the GRCC Sports Network. 5:19 to play here in this first half. It's an 8-6 lead for the Grand Rapids Community College Raiders. Headed to the line for the Vikings will be Amari Moore. Moore leads the team in field goal percentage, but not one of the top free throw shooting players in this lineup. Holding play for a moment. Tyron Thomas getting looked at by the medical staff. He looks all right. Moore can't get the bounce to go his way. Moore is 12th in the MCCAA in rebounds per game, as well as 10th in field goal percentage. This Vikings team, very good in the paint. You see why right there as they tie it up at 8 apiece. This Vikings team, they don't chuck a lot of threes. They remind you a lot of this Raiders team, except this Raiders team isn't afraid to shoot the three. Keel dishes it out. Three-pointer for McFadden, and it's no good. Nice rebound there by Kerry Foster. Foster down the floor. Getting our first look at Foster. He finds a nice lane. The layup and actually a whistle. That'll be Nate Keel. So under 15 to go here in the first half of play. Last home game until next Friday for the Raiders. Nearly tiptoeing. Kerry Foster. Nice little spin move. Kicks it around to the near arc. Smith with a nice drive. The layup is good with the left hand, and he draws the foul. The first lead of the afternoon for the Vikings is a big one. And Smith will try to extend their lead to 3. Furthermore, their first lead of the afternoon. This Vikings team is a pesky one. I know they're 8-9 on the season, and they are off to a rough start in conference play, but they could very well upset the best team in their division here today on the road. Off to a good start. Foster down the floor. Foster flips it. Smith bounces it. The drive now to near side. He'll pull up for 3, and Lomax gets it rejected. So a nice passing there, but not enough for this Raiders defense. That's a big similarity between the men's and women's team with GRCC is their defenses are almost identical in how handsy they get. They lead in almost every statistical category in the conference in defense. Demhoff pulls up, airballs it, and the Raiders are cold here to open up. Just 3 for 9 in the first 6 minutes of game time. Ball loose. Richards comes away with it. Richards will flip it to Demhoff. Demhoff will retreat, swings it out. Bauman, the floater. No. Richards couldn't reel it in either. But the consistency in terms of visual awareness where everybody on the floor is for GRCC makes them successful, just like Aiken Smith's 3. And a timeout called. Actually, no, just a substitution, but a big roar there from the Vikings team as we get some substitutions here. A 14-8 lead for the Vikings. The #1 team in the Western Division on the ropes here in the opening half. Zeke Jackson. Richards getting knocked off his feet there, and that is going to be a foul. And Calvin Brown. Zeke Jackson finds Demhoff on the inbound. Lucas pitched, finds Jackson inside to Richards, and it's rejected. Last touch by Richards, and the ball will go back towards the Vikings. And the Vikings with some big momentum here in this first half. You don't see Richards get posted up like that very often. Richards, a graduate of Byron Center in 2020. Played on that first team coming out of COVID for GRCC, and back on the team this year. Still another year of eligibility, and Richards still looking just as dominant as he did a few years ago. And that block was, you don't see that from Richards, you know, or at least against him. Lomax with a nice inbound, and Richards returns the favor on Aiken Smith. But the foul, Joe Fox a little confused by that one. It looked like it was all ball. And all Matt Richards can do is shrug his shoulder and say, I don't know. So Aiken Smith will get 3 free throw attempts. And he makes his first. This Glen Oaks team, the second worst free throw shooting team in the conference. We already saw them go 0 for 2 previously in this half. But a perfect 2 for 2 to open up from the free throw line. Here for Aiken Smith. Aiken Smith, a 70% free throw shooter this season. Among the better free throw shooters for the Vikings as he goes 3 for 3 from the line, and the Vikings with a commanding 9-point lead here. 12:40 to play. Richards kicks it out. Demhoff. Double team defense. Richards inside. Richards off the glass, and he gets the roll. That was much needed for this Raiders' confidence. Aiken Smith inside to Moore. Moore gets fouled. Richards. Actually, Demhoff's going to get charged with the foul. The 6th foul as a team for the Raiders here in the first half. Bonus coming up here for the Vikings going to the rest of the way. A troubling spot for the Raiders to be in this early in the game. A very unusual start for this Raiders squad. Again, a team that is entering play today on a 4-game winning streak. A team that has really just dominated each and every one of their last few games. Their last tight win came against Alpena Community College when they won by 1. Still a lot of game left in this one. Jackson swings it over to Tyron Thomas. He's back in on the floor. Thomas to Jackson. He hops, kicks it out. Here's a 3-ball for Muxlow, and he drains it. Gonna need a couple of more of those to fall to get them back into this one. Muxlow, the guy to do it. Was in the top 50 players in the country in 3-point shooting percentage last year. Hasn't seen a ton of playing time, though, this season. Here's a return 3, and it misses off the left. Jackson with a nice rebound as they quickly move. Finds Thomas. He's another 3, and it's off balance. Nice hands there by Stiles. Ball still loose as it pinballs its way around. The put-up is good by Pitch. The ball was on the floor for a while. Pitch came out of nowhere, and the Raiders are within 2. Darius Stiles trying to make sure they keep it. And now a chance to tie or take the lead on this possession. Thomas, the big leader of this team for the Raiders. Now Jackson with the drive. Jackson will get fouled. Well, Thomas is just such the spark plug for this team. Of course, transferred in from Division II Frostburg State, where he was a redshirt there. And has just been good in every aspect of the game for the Raiders this season. So we're going to get our second media timeout of the game. 10:55 to play here in this first half. And we'll take a quick step aside here on the GRCC Sports Network. 10:55 to play here in half number 1 between Glen Oaks and Grand Rapids. Jackson Hyden back with you. And at the line for a couple of free throws is Ezekiel Jackson, trying to reclaim the lead. And their first lead since the opening remarks of this game. Vikings doing a nice job of applying pressure offensively. It feels like they're everywhere all at once. He steps in, deep three, no good. And a foul that time on Jaden Stamps, it looks like. That'll be his first of the afternoon. Lucas Pitch, the man out of Rockford, Michigan, will get ready for the inbound. Lucas Pitch has been a nice little complimentary piece off the bench for the Raiders this season. Lucas Pitch, big in the defensive department. One of the leaders in rebounds per game. And really gets his hands in there in terms of blocks. Muxlow. Back over to Pitch. Pitch will jack a three, and he drains it. 21-17. Raiders with a 4-point lead. Their largest lead of the game. Raiders bench coming to life. A response three, and he buries it. Trying to draw the foul with the flop. He's not going to get it. They're within one. Jackson the drive, and no good. Put back by McFadden, and he's fouled. Great job by McFadden to stick with it as the fouls are coming easily for both sides. That's the 5th foul for the Vikings as a team. One more will turn on the bonus for the Raiders. Jackson makes his first, McFadden drinks his first. McFadden, the best free throw shooter on this team, an 80% free throw shooter. And on top of that, 11th in the MCCAA in field goal percentage. And you typically see him come off the bench. He's usually in that part of that first rotation off the bench. And again, much like the women's team, they have a very deep bench to choose from. Smith on the top of the arc, down low. Here's Moore. Moore with the reverse, no good. Put back is better. Vikings pull within one. Back and forth we've been going here. Bauman flips it to Pitch, now to Thomas. Thomas trying to fight his way through the wall anyway, and he draws the foul. Great play by Tyron Thomas. That'll enact the bonus now for GRCC. Both teams with 6 fouls apiece. 23-22. Raiders a perfect 3 for 3 from the free throw line here today. Thomas makes his first. Thomas misses his second. Thomas in his second season with GRCC was nearly a 50% shooter from the field a year ago. And is somehow doing already better here in season number 2. Keel down the floor, and it's rejected. And a late whistle. Sam Winewski, the head coach for Glen Oaks, throwing his hands up in the air in frustration with some of these foul calls. Now officially the bonus is enacted. It's 7, not 6. So a combined 13 fouls between both teams. It's been physical at times, but they're not letting them get away with things inside the paint. Nate Keel Curious to see what he does today, fresh off of his 30-point performance on Wednesday night. So Keel gets his first point of the afternoon. And it was last touched by the Vikings. It looked like it went off the hands of Kelvion Brown. So E.J. Bauman will bring it up the floor now for the Raiders with a 3-point lead. 8:43 to play here in the first half. Both teams have held the lead a couple different times. Then a nice touch off the glass for Nate Keel. So Kelvion Brown and the Vikings are going to slow it down here a little bit. Under 8.5 to play now. And another push there off of Brown. So a couple of penalties, or excuse me, fouls. Turning over the ball for the Vikings. And these penalties have really allowed the Raiders to create some separation now as they lead by 5. Bauman, that's stolen away. Down the floor, one-on-one. Here's Foster to the rack, and it's good. 27-24. McFadden trying to flush it. He could not. And a chance to tie here on this possession. Brown. And another push off. Brown has to keep that right arm in. And it's the second possession in a row for Brown that he has been dinged for the push off. And we'll get a timeout here. Raiders lead at 27-24. 7:55 to play here in the first half here on the GRCC Sports Network. Welcome back here to the GRCC Sports Network. One substitution for the Vikings, Lomax, and for Kelvin Brown. Bauman with a nice drive, nice feed to Richards. Can't get it to go, but Thomas slams it down. Thomas with a couple of big two-handed dunks. Not bad for the 6'3" point guard. This team can really throw it down. Nice floater inside. The put-up shot is no good. They did have Lomax wide open on the arc. Not that threes have been a strong suit for the Vikings here today. They're just 2 for 7. Not a big sample size, but not a strong sample size either. Outside, Lomax stops, pulls up for the free throw line. No good. Richards trying to grab the rebound. It's loose. Second chance try coming up here for the Vikings. Smith near side now. Moore with the drive, the turn, the pivot, through traffic, and he grabs the and one. I tell you what, this Vikings bench is the loudest group of individuals in this gym right now. It's almost like their personal traveling student section. And has added a lot of energy in the air as that rainbow shot misses. 7 to play here in this first half. 29-26. Raiders lead it. Jackson pumps it, kicks it out. Here's Muxlow for 3, and he rattles it in. Moxlow has been dialed in from long distance. Here's a response drive. Beautiful layup for Carey Foster. Bauman inside to Richards, and it's good. If you call, they will respond. That's what it's been like all afternoon to open this game. We've got a tight one on our hands. Moore through traffic, and Richards with a nice block as it gets shimmied in between the basket and the backboard. So Amari Moore will head to the free throw line. Amari Moore, one of the better shooters in the conference. This is his first free throw attempt. He's currently in a stretch of 3 straight games with 20 or more points. And Moore just with 12 points, or excuse me, just 2 points. Now 3 to open up this game. Here comes Zeke Jackson down the floor for the Raiders. Off his foot, and the Vikings will take it back over. This next possession will give them a chance to cut it back down to a 1-possession deficit. 6:01 to play here in this first half. High intensity, a close battle, something we haven't seen here at home really at all this season for the Raiders. Raiders have dominated here in Gordon Hunsberger Arena. 5:45 to play. I'm trying to reset this offense here with 10 to shoot. Smith, step back, pulls up, midi, no good. Rebounded by the Vikings. Trying to feed Pisco, excuse me, Stamps. And it goes out of bounds, so the Raiders will take back over. Just feels like for the Vikings, every time they get close to overtaking the Raiders, some of the mental errors start to pile up. McFadden, inside Demhoff, loses his handles on the floor. Ball's loose, Jackson recovers, baseline, kicks it out, pitch, finds Demhoff, and it's off his hands and out of bounds. Raiders getting a little rush there on that possession, but the Vikings will take back over with 5:10 to play. Foster with the drive off of his foot. And the Vikings will keep the ball. Foster will inbound it here from the baseline. Foster floats it near the free throw line. Lomax through traffic, no good. Ball still on the floor, scooped up by McFadden. Here he comes down the floor. McFadden takes it himself, and he is fouled. And the Raiders will once again head to the free throw line for a pair, as the Vikings pick up their 9th team foul here of the half. Something to keep note of, Calvion Brown with 3 fouls here in this first half, so you probably won't see him until at least the second half, and that is a costly player to have missed. I mean, Calvion Brown does a nice job navigating the floor. He's been averaging about 10 points a game this season for the Vikings, and it's a costly mess up. So 6-point lead now for the Raiders. Foster, nice bounce pass outside. Smith down low, Moore, back out. They've been killing a lot of clock on each possession this game. Styles outside for 3, and no good. And turnover Bauman just off his foot and into his bench. 4:16 left to play here in half number 1. Vikings hanging around, making the Raiders work for it. Ball nearly stolen away. Open three. He tickles the twine, and it is good. 35-32, 4 to play here in the first half. Ball loose, ball on the floor. And let's see. I believe the Raiders are going to keep the ball here. Darius Stiles frustrated with that call. So Zeke Johnson will head to the line for 2. Jackson, a perfect 2 for 2 to start from the free throw line today. 36-32, 3:50 to play here at half number 1. And he makes his second. 37-32, 5-point lead. And the under 4 media timeout. 37-32 is our score here on the GRCC Sports Network. We'll be right back. .350 to play here in half number 1. The Raiders lead at 37-32 over the Glen Oaks Vikings. There is Stiles bringing it up the floor now for the Vikings. E.J. Bauman with a nice job to get his hand in there, and this will force a jump ball. Vikings will keep it though. GRCC in the double bonus. Glen Oaks just in the first bonus. We'll get a reset here on the floor. Go Stiles, Smith, Moore, Foster, and Lomax for the Raiders. Bauman, Jackson, Pitch, Muxlow, and McFadden. Stiles, nice inbound pass, gets tipped. And trying to save it with Smith. And close but no cigar there that time. So Lucas Pitch will inbound it from the sideline, excuse me. And Jackson up the floor. 3.5 to play here in half number 1. It's this nonstop battle between both of these two teams. Nice fast, and McFadden yams it down. Gotta have your wits about you at all time. This Raiders team will pounce on you very quickly. Here's a 3 ball. Finds the bottom of the net. 39-35, and a good job to keep them in it. Still down 4 though, and the Raiders looking to add on. Jackson doing it all himself, pushing his way in. Oh, and he's gonna get called for the charge. Good defense there for by the Vikings. We've seen them try to draw that foul a couple of times here today, or a similar one. And that time the first one going their way. So they could. A bucket will pull them back within one possession here. Smith with the drive. Smith traveling. Or actually going to draw the foul. That's going to go on McGreco McFadden. His first of the afternoon, and now the double bonus is enacted now for the Vikings. Just one bucket will pull them within one possession, but definitely trying to make it even tighter than that. And he misses his first. Aiken Smith misses his first free throw of the afternoon. He was 4 for 4 before that last one. Only 2 players have attempted free throws today, him and Amari Moore. And he's unable to make any of them. So it's still a 2-possession lead for the Raiders. Bauman, nice defense on him by Stiles. And Stiles gonna get dinged with a hold there, so that'll send Bauman to the free throw line. Darius Stiles pleading his case to the officials. And these aren't the same officiating crew that we saw in the women's, but if it's anything like the women's officiating crew, they are not afraid to assess personal fouls. We did see an ejection on the Vikings end of the ball in that women's game early in the second half. Bauman sinks his first. But for the most part here in half number 1, they have been letting them play. 20 fouls combined, though, so it's been consistent and it's been even on both sides. So the Raiders lead back up to 6 with 2:20 to play here in half number 1. Foster with a nice drive. Foster is rejected. Oh, but the foul. So this half quickly turning into a game of free throws. Foster misses his first. And everybody other than Smith, it's 1 for 8 from the free throw line today. I'll make it 2 for 9. Here's Jackson, dumps it off to Bauman. Jackson 3 is fouled and it falls in! E.J. Bauman to the line to try to complete the 4-point play. You don't see that one every game. Saw the Vikings try to draw one of those earlier in this half. And Bauman splashes it through, and it's a 9-point lead for the Raiders, their largest of the afternoon. Little drive, more off the glass. It's fouled, and back to the free throw line we go. Both teams have combined to attempt soon to be 30 and 31 free throw attempts. Raiders with 14. And the Vikings with 15. The Vikings 6 for 15 for the free throw line. The Raiders 11 for 14. So 1 for 2. Raiders trying to push it to a double-digit lead for the first time today. Here's Bauman feeling himself, and it rolls out. Nice behind the back there for Foster. 90 seconds to play. Foster with the drive. The layup is good off the glass. They're within 6. Bauman slowing it down. Bauman has 6 points this afternoon. Jackson with the drive. The layup is no good, and he was fouled on his way to the hoop. That'll go to Amari Moore. Now Moore with a second foul, and that is the fourth player now with at least 2 fouls. Of course, Kelvion Brown with 3, but Styles, Stamps, Moore, and Nation with 2 fouls apiece. Got to be cognizant of that going into the second half and really trying to limit as many fouls as possible here for the rest of the way in this quarter. You don't want to get anybody in too much foul trouble. The Raiders facing similar situations as well. Lomax with the drive, pulls up for the free throw line. No good. Ball loose. Rebounded by Pitch. 1 minute to play here in half number 1. Pitch with a nice spin move, trying to Euro it. Ball is loose on the floor, and jump ball possession arrow towards Grand Rapids, and they will keep it. 49.8 seconds to play. Looking up and down these team stats line, it is almost even. Pitch, a deep 2-pointer, falls short. Looked like he was a little off balance on that shot. And timeout? Looks like it was a timeout called. 44.4 seconds remain. We'll take one as well. We'll be right back for the conclusion of the first half here on the GRCC Sports Network. (47-39) with 44.4 seconds to play here in half number 1. 13 fouls that Glen Oaks have committed, and really without even half of those, this game would be a little bit tighter. Still not without a reach, but just something to think about going forward. That one somehow just does not fall for Glen Oaks. And we're going to get another timeout. 28 even to play here in half number 1. 3 timeouts remaining for GRCC when we come back here on the GRCC Sports Network. (47-39), 28 seconds to play here. Just a couple of seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Jackson, top of the key, flips it to Bauman. Bauman swings it over to Jackson. Jackson will pull up from the free throw line, rattles out, ball is loose. Nice control by the body of the Vikings. And the Raiders will pick up a foul, 6.5 left. And half number 1 as the fouls just keep on coming. That is the Raiders' 13th team foul. Both teams with 13 fouls apiece, 26 total. And Both teams have nearly shot an even amount of free throw attempts here today. This will be attempt number 18 and 19. And fortunately for GRCC, Glen Oaks has had a rough time from the charity stripe as they are 7 for 18 today. And he drains that one. So they're back within 7. 5 seconds to go. They got to act quickly. Bauman pulls up from 3 and airballs it. And that's how the end of the first half will conclude. We're headed to the locker room. Raiders with a 7-point lead over the Glen Oaks Vikings. We'll take our halftime break, and when we come back, we'll have the start of the second half here on the GRCC Sports Network. Welcome back here on the GRCC Sports Network as we get set for the start of the second half between the Glen Oaks Vikings and the Grand Rapids Raiders. Welcome back here. Jackson Hayden with you. And it's a 47-40 lead here for the Raiders. The Vikings with the ball first to open up this half. Trying to get out on the right foot here this afternoon here in the second half. It's been a tightly contested game. A lot of fouls, a lot of free throw lines, or attempts anyway. Good hustle here as they go near side. Smith will jack a three, and he gets it to bounce his way. A good start for the Vikings. It's a three-pointer. Keel pulls up from mid-range, and he connects with it. So a nice little back and forth between both sides to open up. Vikings needing to get a couple of defensive stops off the face of Stamps, and now the Raiders will go the other way. Feeds it to Keel. Keel is rejected. The putback is best by Bauman. 9-point lead. Just a minute played here in half number 2. Nice feed inside. Stamps is fouled by Richards. Richards frustrated with that. There's been a couple of moments here in this game for Richards where he has just been having a tough time out on the floor. Richards, just 4 points, but Richards picking up his second foul of the game. He just has not been able to find any sort of flow state here today. And he drains his second, 51-45. So the Vikings doing enough to hang around. Still just a 2-possession lead for the Raiders. But right now they've been able to stay between the 2 and 3 possession lead mark. Thomas trying to go behind the back and tosses it off to Stamps. Now Stamps gets it turned over, but they're going to say Bauman stepped out of bounds on the near sideline. So that'll slow things down a bit. Jaden Stamps will inbound it near the half-court sideline here on the near side. Nice crowd on hand for the Saturday afternoon. Game 2 of this doubleheader between Glen Oaks and Grand Rapids. Mari Moore posting up. Nice move. Dishes it off to Stamps. Stamps needing some help. Stamps kicks it out top of the key. Pulls up from downtown, and it's no good. Keel will go the other way with it for GRCC. Keel pulls up, and no good. So a couple of misses between both sides. Jaden Stamps. Now the bounce pass. Moore from the free throw line. Can't get it to go. So the shots are missing right now for Glen Oaks. Thomas with the feed to Richards. Beautiful awareness for Thomas. Unselfish basketball there for Tyron Thomas as his glorious day continues. Tyron Thomas, second assist of the day. And finally, a basket goes for Smith and the Vikings. But it's really just been a call response, except for that one. Bauman with a little floater to Thomas, and Thomas just throws his hands up saying, hey. You know, Thomas wasn't even looking on that pass just in front of the bench for the Raiders. So the Vikings will seek to take advantage of that mistake for the Raiders. Smith thinking about it. This defense clamps tight for GRCC. It created some there, but a foul on Aiken Smith. So Muxlow will replace Matt Richards on the floor. Muxlow has been having a decent game off the bench. Just a couple of three-pointers made for Muxlow. And some confusion down on the floor now. So I just had to check out the substitutions. Anyway, it looks like we're good to go. Zeke Jackson will inbound it here, leading the team with 10 points. A couple other players on the Raiders right now knocking at the door of double digits as well. Muxlow pumping, no good. Here's Thomas with a nice lane, trying to kick it back out. Pitch. Was it disrupted there by Bauman momentarily. Pitch trying to fight his way through. Pitch up to the glass, no good. Second chance try, also no good. And grabs the jump ball. Muxlow. As soon as the Vikings grab the ball back, Muxlow forcing a jump ball for the Raiders just to get it back. And so Muxlow will inbound it here on the baseline. Pitch for three, no. Mari Moore has been busy tonight. We've called his name a ton. The floater is no good. Second chance, now third chance. Hook shot, no good. Man, that defense is like weeds out there. I mean, there's a lot of them, and it's hard to shoot over them. Thomas with the spin move, and he is fouled. He'll head to the line. Second team foul of the half for Glen Oaks. And for Glen Oaks, they're key here in this half. I mean, there's two of them, the two big ones. Limit the fouls, and when you are fouled, you got to dial in from the free throw line. If you just look at the free throw line numbers here for Glen Oaks today, they are 10 for 21, and even if they shoot 60% of that, this game is just a one-possession game. So they got to start limiting the fouls, and this is going to be turned into a media timeout. So 15:46 remaining here in the second half. 54-47 is our score. Raiders on top here on the GRCC Sports Network. Welcome back here on the GRCC Sports Network. Thomas looking to make his second free throw. He does. So 8-point lead. This is kind of right around where the game has been for a good chunk of it. Smith passing up on the three opportunity. Smith through traffic, and he draws the foul. Smith. Nice claps on the floor in celebration of the foul. And this is the part of the game that the Vikings need to dial in the most. It's the free throws. This is where games are won and lost. Again, we talked about just a few minutes ago about even if they shot 60% from the free throw line, this is just a one-possession game. And now 8 points, it's not a lot, but when it's been like this all game and you haven't just been able to get over that hump, it feels like a lot. The Vikings have not led. It's about halfway through the first half. And the Raiders have led for most of this game. Muxlow pops it, and it's good! Muxlow carries it to a 10-point lead, the new largest of the game for the Raiders. And now the response. No. Second chance try coming up for the Vikings. Ball is on the ground, and this will be turned into a jump ball. Possession arrow is in the favor of the Vikings. Vikings could use some three-pointers here in this half. Nice post move. The put-up shot is good. Smith with 21 points on the night. He has been on a tear over his last 4 games. And Gary Foster picks up his second foul of the game. And the whistles are becoming more frequent here over the last 15 minutes of game play. Jackson receives the inbound. Kicks it out to pitch. Straight away three. And it's no good. The putback is better, though. McFadden with a nice touch. On the floor, in the paint. The layup, no good as he hits the deck hard. Lomax out to the line, and this game is really turning into a free throw affair. And it can kind of get tiresome from the viewer's eye, too, because the game just, I mean, what felt like the first 15 minutes of the first half was just go, go, go. But since about that mark, it has just been free throw city. The Vikings needing to get hot desperately from the free throw line. But he sinks both there, so an 8-point lead for the Raiders. Jackson with a nice drive, spinning, turning out, kicks it out to Thomas for straightaway three. No good. Jackson with the rebound. Jackson trying to kick it out. It's stolen away down the floor. Here come the Vikings. The layup is good. Now trying to build on top of this momentum. Trying to get over this hump. Here's Jackson driving baseline, kicks it out, and it's stolen away again. Stamps with that steal. And then once again, the Vikings looking to turn this into a one-possession game here with a three-pointer. Not saying that's what you need. Down low from Smith. Smith pushing his way through with his shoulder, turns around, looking for the foul. It's no good. McFadden down the floor and a reach-in called by Lomax. And it's those types of fouls that you have to limit because this GRCC team, again, one of the best free throw shooting teams in the conference. 7th best, 70% as a team. And really good at drawing fouls. That is a certain with this team. Oh, man, rings out. That would have been the 5th three-pointer for Muxlow on the day. Excuse me, it would have been his 4th. Demhoff on the baseline. Demhoff finds McFadden. McFadden can't get it to go. Second chance, no good. And he is fouled, and another whistle called on Glen Oaks as the frustration is mounting for Glen Oaks. 3 players now with 3 fouls. There's 2 other players with just 2. Every single player in this lineup has at least 1 foul. McFadden misses a free throw. A rarity for McFadden. Now 4 players with 3 fouls now. Correction. 18 fouls on the day for Glen Oaks. 16 for Grand Rapids. McFadden's second one is better. Back to a 7-point lead. Glen Oaks need to get going offensively. The drive. And the rejection by Muxlow, and he saves it. Oh, no. I'm going to say Muxlow stepped out of bounds. And timeout. Vikings, 13:06 to play here in the second half. 61-54, GRCC on top here on the GRCC Sports Network. (61-54), 13:06 coming out of the Glen Oaks timeout. They'll have 2 remaining here in this game. And wanting to take advantage of these possessions here, as it's been a hot and cold day, and it looks like we'll have another timeout here. So we'll keep it right here. We'll chat over things. The official is heading over to the scorer's bench. But anyway, taking a look at the statistical update here up to this point. Raiders have 2 players with 10 points, tied for the most on the team today. Zeke Jackson with 10, Tyron Thomas with 10. 5 rebounds for 3 different players for the Raiders. Lucas Pitch, Zeke Jackson, and Tyron Thomas, and 6 assists for Zeke Jackson as well. So Jackson eyeing the triple-double. He's going to have some work to do, but it's possible. On the flip side for the Vikings, Aiken Smith with 21 points leads the way, and he has also 7 rebounds. So he's on a double-double watch. And a number of players with 2 assists and steals. But this Vikings team isn't a big assist team. They get a lot of their points in the paint. Not a big 3-point shooting team, although they do have 5 here today. But this Vikings team does rebound really well. They are a tall team up and down the floor. The average height sits around 6'4" to 6'5", or 6'3", 6'4" or so. And very similar to the Raiders, although the Raiders are a titch smaller, but they have a lot of shooters. So both teams coming back out on the floor. 61-54, 13:06 to play here in half number 2. Darius Stiles on the baseline, looking for some help. Stiles with a nice bounce pass. Kicks it out. Here's a deep 3. No good. That was like how they drew it up. Just couldn't follow through with the 3-pointer. Jordan Pisco out there on the floor now for the Vikings. Muxlow Down low to Richards. Richards piling in, and he can't. It was nearly in the rim, and it jumps out. And Richards hasn't taken many attempts today, but he is 3 for 6, and just feels like there's just been some shots that have not been going his way today as Nate Keel checks in for Richards. 12 3/4 remaining here in this game. 61-54, Vikings needing to go on some sort of run here. We haven't really seen any kind of run since the beginning of this game for the Vikings. Pushing his way through traffic, and he loses it going up. McFadden saying, hey, my hands were up that whole time. Officials saying otherwise. So Matt Richards picks up his 4th foul. He will be on the bench for the foreseeable future, and for the most part, this game has been played without him. He has played in just 13 minutes of this game. So another miss for Glen Oaks. Vikings, second worst free throw shooting team in the conference, and it is really biting them in the rear today, as they are now officially shooting below 50% as a team. Again, even 60% in this game looks different. That's just how minuscule, that's how much free throws matter. Nice find inside, and Jackson lays it in. Great eyes by Nate Keel. And the lead is back up to 9 for GRCC. Styles looking to cut him up. Kicks it out near side. 3-ball for Foster. It's off the back of the rim. Starting to see the 3 balls become a little bit more frequent for Glen Oaks. Bauman passes up on the opportunity. Nice arm pass, but it's stolen away by Moore. On the floor goes Styles. Near far side 3-ball. Lomax drains it. Once again, we're back to a 6-point lead for the Raiders. Under 11.5 to play. Kicks it out. Bauman for 3. Off the back. Ball loose, and it's down the floor. Here come the Vikings. Moore off the glass and good. And the Vikings have cut it down to just 4. We have not seen them this close in quite some time. So the Raiders are going to slow it down with 11 to play. Keel receives the handoff. Keel trying to find McFadden. Does through traffic, and he draws the foul. Man, it does not matter how tall the opposition is. It feels like the Raiders just do a nice job of somehow feeding the ball to places that it does not belong. And we're going to get a media timeout here. 10:50 to play, 65-59 here on the Hunsberger Arena on the campus of Grand Rapids Community College. So Rico McFadden heading to the line for The and one free throw attempt here. Vikings just minutes ago cut it down to 4. But the Raiders doing a good job of keeping it away from the Vikings. 66-59. It goes. It's across the floor they go. Brown, and another turnover for Glen Oaks. Amari Moore picks up his 4th foul of the game, and he will have to exit for now. Again, those fouls starting to really catch up to the Vikings right now. This is a game that is within reach. And now, just like that, Stamps picks up his 4th foul. So now you're at the point in the game where you're going to have to start digging into your bench unless you're going to kind of take the gamble here. And they are. Darius Stiles is going to come in off the bench. And so this is the game that you're going to be playing. You're going to be playing either with players in foul trouble, or the players who are trying to get rest are going to get overworked now. So this is time where you're like in a blender and you're just grinding it down. That's kind of what it feels like the Raiders are doing to the Vikings right now. McFadden's shot attempt is good. 67-59. Another attempt coming up here. So 2 players with 4 fouls, and they'll sit the bench until probably the final few minutes, if this one's within reach. So 4 of the 5 starters are in foul trouble for Glen Oaks. And last touched by Kelvion Brown. Brown, a player that has been sitting a good chunk of this game because of those early 3 fouls, but they're deciding that now's a good time to use him. He's pretty much got one to give. McFadden receives the inbound off the glass, and it's good. .10:30 to play here in this game. Raiders lead by 10. Vikings needing to play some clean basketball here. Still a ton of time to play your brand of basketball. Step back, big 2, rattles off. Second chance try. And another foul by the Vikings. The bench unhappy with these calls. Lomax will pick up his 2nd. And the Vikings with their 9th foul. So the Raiders will head to the line for a 1-and-1. And McFadden misses that one. Pitch comes away with it, but it's stolen away quickly. Foster trying to get it down the floor. Halfway through the second half here in Grand Rapids. Nice feed inside. Has a man open on the arc, puts it up, and he is fouled. Kelvion Brown doing a nice job drawing the foul. McFadden's going to pick up his 3rd foul. So McFadden now just the 2nd Raider in foul trouble here. And if they have to take McFadden out, that is going to be a missing spot to miss. And once again, the free throws just not falling for Glen Oaks. 13 for 27 as a team today. He drains his 2nd. 69-60. The Raiders with any kind of bucket here could make it their largest lead of the game. Jackson for three, and he swirls it down and around. 12-point lead for the Raiders, their largest, and they're starting to slowly pull away from the Vikings. Vikings have just been getting in the way of themselves, really. Smith loses his controls, and it looks like it was last touch by Lucas Pitch. Nice feed inside. Oh, and it's stolen away. Jackson down the floor. The layup off the glass is good. 14-point lead. And the Vikings, I know they haven't been shooting well from three today, but they are 6 for 16. And they've had a lot of drives into the paint where they have been left open on the arc. And I would have really liked to see them try to shoot those attempts, considering that the paint defense by the Raiders has been super locked tight, and have been unable to really get anything going in the paint as of late. And Glen Oaks have proven that they've been able to score outside of the paint today too. Half their points, nearly half their points coming from the paint, and the other half outside of the paint. So down 15. About 8.5 to go, and now's when you got to start thinking about playing a clean brand. Pulls up, straight away three, no good. And there's no need to rush those kind of shots. And this has been a close game all the way up until about 2 or 3 minutes ago of game time played. And the Raiders are doing what they do best, of grinding down their opponent, and then when they can get them to where they want, they will pull away very quickly. McFadden baseline, and I think he stepped out of bounds. He did. And so the Vikings will take back over. This game isn't over. It's very possible for them to go on a big run here and make this game interesting down the stretch, but they got to start thinking about making some of these shots like now. Foster kicks it out. Here's a three. No good. Second chance try coming under the hoop. No good. Pitch falls right in his arms. Pitch passes up, kicks it out, cross court. McFadden kicks back out to Jackson. He'll reset. And stolen away. Foster down the floor. Foster will take it himself, and it's good. Nice drive by Jackson in the finish. To the hoop, Betty jams it down. The head coach there for Glen Oaks saying, hey, quickly get down the floor. Can't let them go. Keel misses the dunk. Vikings trying to take advantage. The layup is good, and the foul. Do I sense a little momentum shifting happening? The Vikings, if they can make this free throw, will pull within 10. .658 remaining here in this game. And Zeke Jackson going to get dinged for the foul, his second. And this is going to turn into a timeout. So we'll be right back here on the GRCC Sports Network. 6:58 remaining. A big free throw coming up here for Glen Oaks. 77-66. It's go time here for the Vikings. Jackson Hyden with you. I should bring you GRCC basketball all season long, and he sinks his free throw. A much needed one. That brings the free throw shooting percentage for the Vikings today back up to 50%. Muxlow not afraid to shoot it from deep. Hands it off to Jackson. Jackson back to Muxlow. Over to Bauman. Bauman from the logo. Yes! A.J. Bauman with a big three ball. And the Vikings needing to keep pace desperately. Oh, in and out, man. The Vikings have just had some impeccable luck today. And it's stolen away, down the floor. Here comes Brown to the rack, and he is fouled. And we'll head to the line for two. And these free throws have to start dropping now if the Vikings want to make this a single-digit game. And he misses his first, a costly miss there for the Vikings. Marlon Gation checks in. And the second one is good, 80-68. Back down to a 12-point deficit. And the Raiders just trying to salt this one away. They can pretty much try to eat a lot of this. And it's nice jab loose down the floor. Kelvion Brown, the layup is good. This one's getting tight. Still a lot of work to do. And it's stolen away again. Pisco down the floor. Pisco to the rack. And he is fouled. And for the Raiders, you have some fouls to give. And with the way the Vikings have been shooting the ball, you can kind of afford to take advantage of these. So he sinks his first, back down to a 9-point deficit. Again, every one of these shots is just as critical as the one previous. And he misses that one. Ball is loose, but pitch comes away with it. 9-point lead for the Raiders. 5:40 to play. Ball nearly stolen away again. Thomas kicks it out. Bauman pumps up. No good. Thomas drives, pivots. And I think it's going to be a foul there on the Vikings. It will be. So Thomas will head to the free throw line for a couple of free throws because now it's the double bonus for GRCC. GRCC has shot better than their team average today. 19 for 27, that's good for north of 70% as a team. And again, one of the best free throw shooting teams in the state. And it doesn't go. A huge 2 misses for Thomas, and the Vikings could pull it within small numbers here. Off the glass, no good. Ball loose, Bauman. Ball still loose. Jackson picks it up. Down the floor, flips it to Bauman. He drives. The layup is good. Smith getting cornered. Now this full court press is on. Pulls up from downtown, and it's no good. Rebounded by the Vikings. Pisco, here's another 3 ball. It's good! 82-74 within 8. The bench for the Vikings coming back to life. Bauman flips it under 5 to play. Things are getting sweaty here in Grand Rapids. Muxlow, the rejection. Ball is loose. Thomas with it. He off the glass and good. My, oh my. Back and forth we have been going all day today. This has been a fun one to watch. The drive, the kick out. Another set, Foster finds a lane, step back, kicks it over, near side three ball, Lomax connects! And the timeout. 84-77, 4:12 to play. I believe that's going to be a timeout. It's not, never mind, just substitutions. Everybody was heading towards their bench like it was a timeout. 21 points for Aiken Smith. And right now, those Vikings saying, hey, don't forget about us. But Thomas is saying, hey, don't forget about me. As I'm wide open, but he misses. So down the floor they go. Lomax. Over to Foster. Foster, they're feeling themselves. They've been hot lately. Here's another three. No good. Trying to grab that rebound. No look good. Let's see. Last touched by the Raiders. So the Vikings will get another chance at it. The Vikings could connect with another three. This will be a 4-point game. We're going to get an immediate timeout. 3:40 to play here in the second half. We'll take a quick break here on the GRCC Sports Network. .340 to play here in the second half. It's 84-77. GRCC on top. The Vikings with the ball out on the floor right now. Amari Smith, Kevin Brown, Foster, Pisco, and Lomax. Thomas, Keel, Jackson, Muxlow, and McFadden for the Raiders. The drive, the layup, off the glass. Can't get the roll, but the putback is good. Oh, but they're going to call it off. They're going to say goaltending. They're going to say goaltending?
The initial call on the floor is basket interference by Glen. This play will be reviewed.
So basket interference, a rare call in the basketball world. Honestly, between watching basketball and announcing as many games that I do, that's the second time I've heard that this year. And before that, nothing. So we will see what the officials come up with.